Hello. The purpose of this video is to overview how to navigate our course. During this video, I will explain the purpose of each of the side buttons. Sometimes students have a hard time finding items in an online course. Hopefully this video will reduce this hurdle. When you first enter our course, you will enter on the announcements page. The announcements that are posted, I typically also email to the email that you have set for Blackboard. All the announcements stay on the announcements page. They simply scroll down chronologically. So if you ever want to find an announcement, just scroll down and you should be able to find it. Each Friday, I will send out a new weekly announcement that's designed to explain what's going on for the current week. There will be other announcements during the week periodically as well. Typically with each announcement there'll be a link at the bottom, especially the weekly announcements, that will take you right directly to where you should be going. For example, initially you'll be going to the Get Started button or Getting Started button, which you can either click in the middle here or you can click over here on the Getting Started button. Under Getting Started, you will see the syllabus. The syllabus is very important. You might want to click on that and even print it to have it available, as it has important dates when things are due. It explains how grading is done, etc. The course map is listed here, so it kind of will graphically explain what I'm explaining to you right now. The course calendar, this is simply the same calendar that you'll see on the course syllabus, but only put into a calendar form. The opening announcements, which will be the first announcements that show up. Some basic rules of engagement. And then the first week's worth of work. This is known as the weekly work. Now I could click on weekly work and go through from here. And one of the things you'll notice is that there are several ways of getting into things within this course. That's because you may be looking for the same thing in different ways depending on what's happening in the course. So the Getting Started button is to kind of get you rolling. When you get rolling on the first week, you're going to be going into the first week's worth of work. You can go into any week by going into weekly work, and you will see here you'll see week 1, and as the weeks progress you'll see the other weeks. The intent is that for every week that you have work, you should be able to find it here under the current week. So whenever you're in doubt about what's going on during a particular week, you should be able to go into weekly work, go into the current week, and see what you need to do. So you'll see objectives, you'll see course materials, and you'll see assignments and modules. So the objectives are meant to overview what's happening during the week. The course materials are the kind of things that you should read, review, watch, as the case may be. So this is some content. It's not necessarily all the content. Some of the content will be directly linked to what you're actually doing in your assignments. You'll notice that at the top here we've kind of got a breadcrumb trail working. It says the course is not currently available because I am recording this prior to the class started. But here I'm in Course Materials, which is a folder inside of Week 1. I'm going to click back to Week 1, go back to the objectives. I see Course Materials, and I see Assignments and Modules. I click into Assignments and Modules, and it says here that I should email the instructor. Here is my first assignment. I'm going to have to do something with a blog post and something with the discussion board. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the first assignment, and here it takes me into an introduction module, assignment 1.1, where it explains the first assignment. I note there's a link there There's some other links here. So these would be some other resources that I will take advantage of, other course materials, but I will probably take into those directly. Now, as I did this, I noticed that I'm no longer in week 1. I was taking into something else. So if I want to go back to where I was, I go back to weekly work, week 1, and again I can see course materials and assignments and modules. Anytime I get confused, and I'm repeating this on purpose, of where I am, go back into weekly work and go into your current week. That is how you will know where you should be. Now, as the course develops, there's going to be times when you say, I remember back in week 2 or week 3 there was this resource that I wanted to find, this course material or this assignment that we did, and I want to go back and look for that. Instead of digging through the different weeks, what you can do is go back and look under the course materials for the entire class. There's also times when I'll post up links, but here are all the course materials, and as the course goes along there'll be lots of course materials available. So this is basically where all the course materials will be. Within the weekly work, however, you'll just have the course materials that are necessary for that particular week. The same goes for the modules and assignments. The modules and assignments here, as the course goes on, you'll see the various modules and all the assignments, even the ones that you have finished. You will not see the ones that have not yet been opened. You'll just see the ones that you have finished. So as the course goes through, you'll see many more. Again, if you just go into weekly work and the current week, you'll see just the course materials and just the assignments you need for that particular week's worth of work. These two links are for seeing the rest, all of the items that are available to you. Below this divider, you're going to see discussions, collaboration, and community. So these deal with different types of interactions that we're going to have. We are going to complete or use several discussion boards. So if you click on discussions, you will see some discussion boards that are open and some discussion boards that are not open. In this case, you'll see they're not open because I'm logged in as the instructor. You should not see the other ones. The classmate help area, this is a discussion board where you can post anytime you have a question about the course, and anybody can participate. There are no items here, but you can subscribe. So what that means when you subscribe is that anytime somebody posts this, post any time to this, you will receive an email, and you will be able to get that in whatever email you set up for Blackboard. So I subscribe to this so that when you send a help request into this area, I will get an email, and your classmates will get an email, and they can all help. And since I'm not constantly checking, some other student may answer the question before I do. Also under discussions, you will see broken links. There are times when you might come across a broken link. Feel free to post it here, and then as I have time, I will update the broken links. Here you see a link for Assignment 1.1 discussion board, and under this you will see 4 different threads, and within these threads you will click on those and you will click reply, and then you will follow the instructions in Assignment 1.1. So those are our discussion boards, and there'll be more discussion boards as the course goes along. Collaborations. The current collaborations that are open are the live sessions collaboration and email. You can email anybody in the course by clicking on email and using one of these options. Live sessions. This is where we're going to use a product called Blackboard Collaborate, and the overview, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have an all-class overview of this course, and that is going to be available through Blackboard Collaborate. There will be additional sessions available here, but the session that we're going to use is called All Class Live Sessions. You'll click on that. That will take several minutes to upload, and there's some instructions about how to make sure your computer is set to work with Blackboard Collaborate in the course materials in the weekly work area. Under Community, this is just exactly that. It's our learning community, and here you can actually look up the names of your classmates here as long as you click on this link and choose the non-blank option. Under Our Learning Community, you're going to see some information about myself, my resume, a little bit of information about me, as well as your classmates. Your first assignment is going to have you post up some information about yourself under the, you're going to post a blog entry about yourself here. Part of developing any kind of course, you want to get to know the people in your course, the participants, and this is one way that we're going to do that. So that's discussions, collaboration, and community. Under this line right here, you will see course tools. There are many course tools listed here. We're not going to use all those. This is another way into Blackboard Collaborate. You scroll down. You can see those. My Grades will be one that you will use. When you click on My Grades, after I send out an announcement, I've done an assessment, provided you how many points you've earned for a particular assignment, you can click on My Grades and see that. I will typically also put a link to that right in the announcement so you don't have to go digging for it under Course Tools. Resources. This is for the valuable resources that we'll talk about. I have a short video about the programs at Framingham State, but their student help area is very helpful. If you have questions, you click on that. It takes you straight to Framingham's academic support. It has Blackboard help and it has technology support, including phone numbers. And there are additional supports down below, including the library, the CASA, the Center for Academic Support and Advising for any person with special needs, the Dean of Students, and a few other useful items. And then finally there's a link to the Quality Matters approved courses, and I'm proud to say that this was the first course that was approved under the Quality Matters program, which is basically a program to help structure courses so that they were better designed to include basically a better course design and evaluated on a rubric, and so to make sure that some minimum standards were adhered to. And that's the basic overview. Happy to answer questions shortly. I'm going to add just a couple of one other thing that happens periodically. If you scroll between the menu on the left and the content on the right, you'll see an arrow that pops up. If you click on this arrow, the course menu is hidden. So if I was giving you instructions to click on the announcement or the weekly work tab, this would be difficult to find. So again, clicking that arrow will bring it back, but if that disappears, such as this, it's hard to find. What you need to do is come over here, scroll, and then find the menu. My suggestion is you keep this menu up and you do not use that arrow. Under My Home, if you click My Home, you'll see a list of all the courses that you're enrolled in at Framingham State. Under FSU Community, you'll find some other options, including the Whitmore Library, which we will be using later in the course.